Carm 3D on the tube with you, and I wanted to make this video for my students because this was a common problem I was seeing with their homework. So I wanted to point out something on the fingers / knuckles. So let's take a look at this hand here. Let's uncurl the fingers. Thank you. Alright. The problem I was seeing is when you're rigging your fingers, you're placing the base, the starter of the fingers right here where the end of the hand geometry is. Where the hand ends, that's where you place the joint. Like where the finger geometry meets the hand geometry, that's where you're putting your knuckles. Well, that's not where the knuckles are. They're down here. Let's look at the other side. Okay, I got gimbal lock. Let's turn that around. There we go. The knuckles over here. In the side view. Also note the point of rotation. Sorry, blocking the view here. Is a little bit off center. It's to the back a little bit. This is all like padding over here. Is it hard to see? Is that better? I'm sorry, this is a really awkward angle for my hand to be at. This is where you're putting the joint there, and it needs to be down here. Just look at the model, and we'll look at the 3D version of this in a moment. But I just wanted to point, this is the knuckle. Okay, and put the point of rotation just a little bit off center, because all this stuff just collapses when the hand closes. It gets all squished up in there. Isn't that cool? All right. Yeah, I think there's not much else I can do here with the live video. So let's look at the 3D model, shall we? Okay, let's put this thing together because there's more I want to show you. Another common problem I was seeing in the homework turned in so far. Not saying you're all going to do it, but enough of you have done it where it warrants the creation of this video. So, as you can see, I got my little vector guy, my little tab sticking up there. And right now I'm just aligning this little blue line, which represents the z-axis for that object, to be pushing out in the direction of the finger. And I think what I will do now is hide the geometry except for the index finger. Okay. And let's put this on lines like that. Okay, now I can see there's the knuckle right there, the peak of that little hill right there. Actually, it's a little easier to see when I'm highlighting it. Except I can't move my pointer now to highlight it. It's right there. That's the knuckle. Okay. Now, as you saw on my hand, the difference between the knuckle and the end of the hand geometry was a little different, a little greater, because there's that thin layer of skin that just extends out a little bit on the fingers, which I did not model in this, just to save time or whatever, or stylistic streamlining, whatever you want to call it. So let's just make sure I got everything looking good here. Looks like it's not looking odd. Yeah. Remember when you were dragging, I'm in rotate mode, and I drag somewhere outside of the controllers, it just rotates on the angle that I'm looking at on the screen here. I think that's pretty close. We can get it closer as we add the joints. So let's do that now. And we will push this forward on the Z direction, just like we do for every other joint, pretty much. Okay, so that's a little too much. I think 8 will be not enough, so let's try typing 8.5. That's pretty good. I'll select my rectangle guy. Let me move up here so you can see what I'm selecting. Index 0, 0. I think this is the left hand. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter if we're just making it up as we go. Anyway, yeah, so I want to rotate this a little bit because I want this element to be right in the middle. And I'm not going to do so by moving this guy or rotating this guy. I'm going to do it by rotating this guy. Another problem I've been seeing is that frequently you're not positioning the bones by simply moving it down the z-axis and rotating its parent. But that's almost another topic. Right about there. Drop a key. Let's select that guy. Okay, add another joint. Let's move him forward. And then I pick his parent and rotate it on the green circle, in other words on the pitch axis. Get it pretty close to the center there. Let's move that guy back a little bit. It's pretty good. Another joint. Okay, so I have successfully created this finger, although I haven't verified it's looking good on other angles. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, it's going off center a little bit. That's easy to fix. But I've created it by only pushing the joint forward and rotating its parent on the pitch axis. That's all I've done. That's another problem I've been seeing with a lot of the ear rigs so far. I'll say all I have to do here is just tweak the heading just a little bit there, and yeah, that's looking pretty good. Of course, you can clone this whole rig here and move it down to the next finger, adjust the Z positions to sync up with all the new finger lengths, because they're all going to be a little different in size. But yeah. Now, one thing to watch out for is this might be good, and it may very well be. It looks good as a naked eye, but when we get all the fingers done together and it's time to animate them, you never know how it's going to close. It may close weird where the fingers are kind of intersecting, and so there are ways you can tweak that by well, it's hard to know without actually seeing it happen, and we'll be taking a look at animating the fingers later. I just wanted to give you a heads up with that, as I said earlier, your rig's not done until your animation's done, so sometimes you have to go back and tweak things. But this is basically what I wanted to show you. Where the knuckle is, and rigging your fingers like you should be rigging just about everything else, by extending the joint down the z-axis and then rotating its parent on the pitch. In most scenarios, there might be some exceptions where you can rotate other angles as well, but generally speaking, you want to favor the pitch. So that's it. I'll see you later.